Okay, so we're going to look at graphs. Uh, so how this is going to go is I'm going to take you through a few graphs which have been pre-designed, and then I'll hand over to Pradeep so that he can demonstrate how to create a small graph, group products, and effectively use graphs in ElegantJ BI. So like everything else in ElegantJ BI, graphs are completely reusable. So once you make a graph for a particular data set, you can reuse it in any place. No need to build it again. So this is not dashboard specific. The graphs does everything. You can zoom into data, or you can zoom out of it, and work easily across the dashboard. I'm going to show you some graphs one by one. So this is a geomap graph where here on Washington you can display a particular number and then filter based on the context. You can have other type of graphs. These are pie charts, stack bars. There's a tabular report along with it, and then we have another dashboard which has got a picture as well as a KPI and a graph. Okay, so gives a little bit of an aesthetic look to something. Um, if you look further down, there is a bubble chart where you can again zoom into the data and explore. You can click and filter. This is filter based on the context. So I mean, clicking Arkansas here would filter the entire dashboard. Some more of the similar type of graphs here. We have a date filter on the top, so I'll click the date filter, but I mean, these are the things which we have covered earlier, so I won't go much into it. One more dashboard before I hand over to Pradeep. Here you can see there's a heat map, there's a line chart, and you can filter by product category, say for example bakery, and the entire dashboard will filter based on what has been applied. Okay, then we can filter for a particular product under the bakery. Okay, you can filter per year, say 2016 only, and you can obviously kind of click anywhere on the graph to kind of zoom in, zoom out. And this we have a scroll bar which will allow you to zoom appropriately rather than using your mouse to zoom in or zoom out. So this kind of gives you an overview of the graphs. It's a bit late in the evening out here and a bit of fatigue creeping into my voice, so I hope I was loud and clear. But Pradeep is in his good cheerful self, so I'm going to hand it over to him, and he is going to make a graph for you and hopefully make the presentation more interesting.
Yeah, thanks. So let's look into graph. We'll create a graph and we'll apply some data operations. We'll analyze the graph. So to create a graph, you can click on this menu, new, and clicking on graph will open up this cube selection. Here we select sales cube, and here you can see a list of graph types available. So various types of graphs are available. You have, area, stacked area, pie chart, radar, combined charts are there, histogram is there, some specific stock candlestick chart, high low open close chart is there, XY scatter gauges, and heat map. So let's create one vertical bar graph. So here the same outliner concept is there, which is very simple, and here I drag and drop gross sales and I take state here in row. So which is so while we drag and drop here various columns, we can see that how our graph is being built. So the preview is quite helpful. So now let's see here. So here we have this graph available, so we have taken states. So to change the dimensions or to add more dimensions, we can easily drag and drop a column here. So say example, let's change it to product category here. And if you want to, so you can save this graph here in my folders or any relevant other folder. You can save it. You can change the graph type very easily. So here you can see, if I want to see the same graph in plotted in line graph, you can see here. Say I want to change it to area. So transition to graph type is quite easy. So I clicked on restore, so we have restored to the our original view. So here in this product category wise, year wise graph, say drill down and all these functionalities are available. You can just click on particular year, quarter, etc. Here you can see the legend values of product category. Here you can see that graph data. So when you click on that, you can see the graph data of this particular graph. You can export this. So these are the data grid, and you can also export this graph in various format. You can see here. Here in object information, you can find out the structure of this graph, what all data operations we have applied, if any filter is there. You can see here the entire information of this graph. Here this is a grouping functionality. So say example, here what product categories we do have is alcoholic drinks, bakery, confectionery, etc. Here we have tea and snacks. So say let's take an example. If you want to group this tea and snacks together and create one product category, so on ad hoc basis you can do so. So I click on group here. So let's name it test group, and here I select product category as tea and snacks. So I added that, and now let's have a look at. So you can see here our product category is appearing here. So this is the combo we have created on ad hoc basis. So now we can look at the combined performance of tea and snacks. So and you can delete the filter here. So we are on the same graph again. So now here in this graph, you can see here it is in ascending order this year, and I would like to sort that. So here there is the functionality of sorting. So manage sort. Here you can see that ascending order is applied on year. So for example, I want to change it to descending. You can see here we can see 2016 to 2013. We can have page filter here. So I opened the outliner here and say example, I want a particular state or product category in page sections, and we can open this page filter from here. So now you can apply page filter here. So I'm say applying two states here. So this is sales of Arkansas and Florida, specifically for these two states. I clear the filter here. You can also apply advanced filter. So example, here I'm applying advanced filter. So I click here. So example, I want to see product categories which does not have drinks or fruit juices. So say example, I click on object data here, and I select product category, and I'm selecting does not contain. So I don't want any product category which has drinks word in that, so I'm excluding that. As well as so I have selected that. Now other filter I want to apply, that I like to exclude juices here. So I have excluded drinks as well as juices. So now let's have a look at. So here in this filter, this filter is created, and we can activate that. So you can apply advanced filter. Similarly, say example, there is a retrial parameter. So before loading this graph, you can also apply retrial parameters, so to query and data in the graph. So this is our graph. So let's configure some retrial parameter here. So you can manage your retrial parameters from here. Say I want to, before I load my graph, I want to filter it out with year and product category. So I'm selecting year and product category here, and I save this. And here it will open up a dialog box before loading the graph. Now let's click on test graph, and here you can see that this is the filter available here. So I'm selecting some of the values here, few product categories here. So you have a graph plotted, and before that you can filter out data. You can apply data operations from here. So if you want to find out percentage distributions, etc., so here you can select those data operations. You can also have drill down browsing, so you can drill down step by step, but drill down browsing is useful that you want to drill down to particular product categories, example for a particular year or quarter directly. So you can select it here, and you can straight away jump to that particular view. You can see here we are in 2014 quarter 3 and cool drinks view. So you can set global variables, you can export this analysis, you can publish this graph and save as and refresh is that. So that's a quick overview of graph.